Do you love looking back at films and TV shows from the 60s? It was a great decade where we saw many actors and actresses become huge stars. But it was also a sad decade in which there were many great actors who died during production. These actors were often in their prime and left us too early. While it might seem like a grim subject for a video, it's actually a great way to remind us to live our lives to the fullest and pursue our dreams. Their lives are an inspiration for us all, and though they left us in the 60s, their legacies live on. Are you a fan of actor Ward Bond? He's remembered as one of America's best character actors, with experience in over 200 films and a prolific career in television. With film, he was perhaps best known as Bert in It's a Wonderful Life, and Captain Clayton in The Searchers. He also appeared in other great films such as Gone with the Wind, The Maltese Falcon, and Rio Bravo. On TV, he was best known for his work on the Western TV series Wagon Train. He played the lead role of the wagon master, Major Seth Adams. He was one of the favorite characters on the show, as he was already a recognized face through his work in cinema. Ward Bond died of a heart attack in 1960 in a hotel room. His character was written off the show without any explanation. Major Seth Adams was replaced by John McIntyre as the new wagon master. There's an urban legend that the country singer Johnny Horton went to visit Ward Bond at his hotel room on the day he died. The legend says Horton wanted to know if Bond could get him a role on Wagon Train. Johnny Horton died on the same day that Ward Bond did, though several hours earlier, and the two gentlemen never actually met. Though it's been over 60 years since Ward Bond left us, he remains known as one of America's best character actors. Before we tell you more about 60s actors who died during production, please give this video a like and subscribe to Factsverse if you haven't already. Another great 60s actor who died during production was Joseph Kearns. He was best known for playing George Wilson, aka Mr. Wilson, on the TV show Dennis the Menace. Joseph Kearns began his entertainment career in vaudeville during childhood. He was part of a vaudeville group that toured the country for over a year. He studied at the University of Utah and taught a course in theatrical makeup while a student. After a brief stint trying to start a wool business, he decided to return to showbiz. He began his career as a radio performer in the 1930s. His film career began in 1951 with the film Hard, Fast, and Beautiful. He also voiced the character of Doorknob in the animated film Alice in Wonderland. On television, he had recurring roles in shows such as The Jack Benny Program, I Love Lucy, Perry Mason, and Gunsmoke. His final role was as Mr. Wilson in Dennis the Menace. He tragically suffered from a cerebral hemorrhage on February 11, 1962. The next day was his 55th birthday, and he sadly passed away 5 days after that. Mr. Wilson was eventually written off the show with the explanation that the Wilsons had moved away. One of the most versatile actors of Hollywood's golden age was Dick Powell. He began his career as a comedy performer and then became known as a serious actor. He was the first actor to portray Detective Philip Marlowe on the screen. His work in film and TV made him a major star. He eventually became the host of his own show, The Dick Powell Show. This was an anthology series that showcased many great comedic and dramatic stories. The show was a big hit, but alas, it wasn't meant to last under Dick Powell's hosting. In 1962, he confirmed rumors that he was suffering from cancer. He died a year later. The Dick Powell Show was renamed to the Dick Powell Theater and had a slew of different hosts. To this day, Dick Powell is remembered for his relentless work ethic and versatility. In his short career, he became known for great comedies such as Christmas in July. He also became known for his work in serious films such as Murder, My Sweet. He worked as a director for films like The Conqueror and The Hunters. Larry Keating was first known for creating and hosting the show Professor Puzzlewit, a radio quiz program on KMJ Radio. He later had a great film career and was recognized as a popular character actor. On television, he became known initially for his work on The Hank McCune Show and The George Burns and Gracie Allen Show. But his best-known work in television was as Roger Addison in the show Mr. Ed. Larry Keating was diagnosed with leukemia while working on the third season of Mr. Ed. He began to work on the fourth in 1963 and died after filming 3 episodes. His character was eventually written off the show. John Larkin became a major star on radio, performing as Perry Mason. With TV, he was best known as Mike Carr in the daytime series The Edge of Night. He continued to work in television throughout his career. He appeared in shows such as Saints and Sinners, The Dick Powell Show, and The Alfred Hitchcock Hour. His final work was on the show 12 O'Clock High. He played Major General Wiley Crowe. John Larkin died of a heart attack during the second series of 12 O'Clock High. His character was written off the show. He was that rare breed of entertainer who managed to become a star in multiple mediums. Henry Kolke began his career as a boxer, competing mostly through South America under the name Bomber Kolkovich. He had a tough guy and rough image, which is what led to his film and TV career. He appeared in films like Call Northside 777, Mighty Joe Young, and Up Periscope. His best-known role was in the TV series Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea as Chief Curly Jones. He died of a heart attack after the first season, and his character was written off. One of the most unlikely stars of the 60s was the journalist and game show panelist Dorothy Kilgallon. As a journalist, she mostly focused on writing about show business news and celebrity gossip, but some of her most famous writings included writing about the assassination of President Kennedy, as well as the trial of physician Sam Shepard, who was charged with murdering his wife. Apart from her work in journalism, she was known as one of the first panelists on the now classic game show What's My Line? She remained as a panelist for 15 years. She died in 1965 at age 52 from a combination of alcohol and barbiturates. To this day, there remains a rumor that she was murdered because she wanted to reveal a conspiracy to assassinate President Kennedy. Perhaps we'll never know the truth. Alice Pierce began her career performing live in nightclubs and later on stage. She reached a wider audience when she reprised her role in the film version of On the Town. She then had regular roles on TV shows like Jamie and The Addams Family. But her best-known work was as Gladys Kravitz in Bewitched. She died from ovarian cancer shortly after finishing work on the second season of the show. The character remained on the show, and the role was reprised by the actress Sandra Gould. Anne Sheridan began her film career at age 19 in the film Search for Beauty. After the success of the film, she was put under contract to play small bit parts in films produced by Paramount. She continued to work with Paramount and then eventually graduated to working in films by Warner Brothers. She then became well known for her work in B pictures such as Alcatraz Island and She Loved a Fireman. She eventually became known as the most popular oomph girl in America. This meant she was the beautiful woman who men desired to be with. In the 60s, she began work on a Western sitcom called Pistols and Petticoats. She became ill during filming and died of esophageal cancer during the show. She was 51 years old. Smiley Burnett was a popular country music artist and comic performer, best known for his work alongside Gene Autry and Roy Rogers. One of his best-known roles was as Frog Milhouse, which he played in over 20 different films. His film career included work in over 50 films, and his TV career began with the show Petticoat Junction, which is what he was best known for. He died at age 56 after filming the fourth season of the show from leukemia. Charles Bickford was a great American actor known for his work as a supporting actor. His film roles included work in major films like The Farmer's Daughter, A Star is Born, and The Days of Wine and Roses. He had occasional work in TV movies and also a recurring role in the Western series The Virginian. He died of pneumonia at age 76 while The Virginian was in production. His character was written off the show. Marion Lee was a prolific actress known for her work on stage, film, and TV. Best known work was her role as Aunt Clara in Bewitched. Her work in the show was so well loved that after she died of a heart attack, the character was written off the show. Apart from Bewitched, she also acted in films such as Strangers on a Train and The Graduate. She had TV appearances in The Ed Sullivan Show and The Gary Moore Show. Bea Benaderet was one of Hollywood's most famous female comic performers. She started her career in radio and then worked as a voice actor in many popular Looney Tunes cartoons. She was so popular as a comic performer, she was the first choice for Ethel in I Love Lucy. She later became known for playing Betty Rubble in The Flintstones and Cousin Pearl in the Beverly Hillbillies. She died at age 62 in 1968 during production of Petticoat Junction, in which she had a recurring role. Last on our list is the great Barbara Pepper. She was an actress who worked on stage, film, radio, and TV. She was best known for her work as Doris Ziffel on Green Acres. Her film work included roles in My Fair Lady and It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Her TV roles also included recurring roles on I Love Lucy, Petticoat Junction, and The Jack Benny Show. She died at age 54 from coronary thrombosis during the production of Green Acres. Her character was recast with Fran Ryan taking over the role. Now it's time to hear from you. Are you a fan of any of these actors? Do you think their legacy continues to live on, or do we need to promote their work more so they're never forgotten? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give this video a like and subscribe to Facts Verse if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest content.